Hello, this is Blake Levine, and today I want to talk about this book, Depression, Bipolar, and Heroin. My brother Adam Wachtel was an amazing young man who lived a life on the edge and had many interesting and fascinating adventures. And when he fell into addiction and eventually died of a heroin overdose, my heart started to break. And I realized that in order to continue to move forward, I could try to share some of the love and lessons I learned from having him in my life. So I wrote this book, and in it I share stories that are examples of others that faced addiction. And even though they weren't people that I worked with, I shared stories of kind of different ways of those that live with addictions and what they could possibly do to change. Some of the topics include breathing. So for many of us that are struggling, and I have bipolar, and if I'm facing a hard time, I sometimes take a few breaths and I say, I'm going to remember how to be calm. I'm going to not get too angry. I'm going to hold on to hope. That topic is explored in this book. I also share about finding holistic tools to help. So that might mean meditating, doing yoga, and finding other things that allow your brain and body to be calmer. There's also a discussion about pain from our past. So in some of the stories, there's people that when they were young faced such challenges that they had so much anger and resentment and pain that they ended up getting into hardcore addictions. And the hardest thing about writing this book was, while I had just moved to Florida, I took a job at a rehab center, and I began working with about 50 or 60 men that had addiction. And while there, I learned so much about how hard it is for them to recover. They have to find a way to support themselves when they get out of rehab. They have to face temptation. Oftentimes, they struggle to be able to stay sober. And in my own life, I decided to stop drinking and become completely sober when my brother died. And I learned how hard it is to actually do that. I would go out to a restaurant and people would be drinking alcohol, and it would be tough to see that. I would go out to a party or somewhere that was social, and many would be drinking or using other drugs. And I found that for those that have the most hardcore addiction, like heroin, it's such a challenge to go back into the world. And for those that want to succeed in that, it takes a huge level of dedication. It takes a long time to rebuild your thinking, and many cannot handle the real stress it causes. But I want to share that there's always hope for those that want to change their addictions. Most of us have some kind of addiction to something, whether it be food, alcohol, other drugs, could be gaming, it could be texting, it could be anything that really is negative and harmful. And I want to share that if you buy this book, it helps support the work I do here on YouTube. I have hundreds of educational videos where I teach about mental health. And because I was a social worker for many years and now work as a life coach, I thought that being on YouTube and sharing these ideas would help many others. You can buy this book directly at the link below on Amazon. And I also want to tell you I do a life coaching program by phone and text and email. I work with people all over the world. You can learn about it by reaching our office in the U.S. at 213-304-9555. That's 213-304-9555. You can also go to our website at bipolaronline.com. That's bipolaronline.com. And I want to thank you so much for watching this. I hope things get better and calmer in your life.